Just talking about your confidence and still doing things defensively and moving the ball, but how good did it feel to see that 3-point shot go down?
It felt really good. It felt amazing, actually. I put in so much time and effort and work into that, into building that confidence, and for it to come out and play a part of tonight's game. It felt real good.
Theo, go ahead and hop in there if you've got one.
Sure. For both you guys, this is your first true road game. How good did it feel to come out and get the win tonight?
Great. We've been working towards it all week. Coach said this is the true test. Always coming to somebody else with barn and we executed. So it felt good to get our first true road win.
Help us by using that raise your hand function. We'll go to Jim Ellis. Jim, or not Jim, but John Sokoloff. John, go ahead.
Hey guys, Tolo, I got one for you. I mean, you guys now 9-0. I mean, ranked team. You beat a couple of really. And what do you think is different about this year's crew compared to a couple of the other ones that you've been on?
My bad, man. It kind of cut off. Can you repeat the question one more time?
Yeah. What do you think is? I mean, you guys are 9-0, have a lot of really good wins. What do you think is different about this year's group compared to the last couple you've been with?
I just say the intensity on both ends of the ball, just picking it up, not giving up on any possession, and I say just having that grit, that desire to win every game. And I just want to add, man, Shaq really been putting a lot of work in on his jumper, and I'm happy for him. He been in the gym day in and day out, so I'm excited. I'm just happy for him, bro. So.
Jack, go ahead and hop in there.
Tolu, it's been a bit of a struggle for you at the free throw line this season, but tonight you were 8 of 9. I guess what was the big difference?
Hey, you see it, man. I've been shooting them. Nah, I just been taking my time, just lining the ball up, just knocking down the shot. I feel like I was just overthinking most of my free throws in the beginning, but just got to keep practicing the shot. And I give a lot of credit to Coach Miller. We've been shooting a lot of free throws.
That time after practice. Paying off.
Yeah.
Joel Coleman, hop on in there if you've got a couple.
Yeah, one for both of you guys. Shaq, I know you were telling us the other day about, working and, kind of keeping your head down and getting your shot right and everything else. But for you, what has these last few weeks been right? You've been doing things to help the team win, but just to get your shot back and then to see the results tonight, just kind of put these last few weeks into perspective for you.
Just like Tolu said, man, a lot of time before and after practice on off days. Just put in the time, to get those reps, see the ball go through, just to build that confidence. So again, it just feels amazing to be able to come out and play with that confidence, shooting the ball again, for sure.
And Tolu, for you, you did mention it a while ago, but sitting there talking about Shaq, I mean, to see that work pay off, as his brother, as his teammate, just what's that? What have you guys kind of seen from him and his work ethic, and I guess reemphasize that excitement I know you guys have for him to come through for you guys tonight?
It's great to see, man. Usually guys, like when they get in the slump, they tend to like be not level-headed and things like that. But Shaq, he brings the energy every day, and he still get the reps in before practice, after practice. And like I said, just being a friend, not even a teammate, just being a friend, seeing him succeed today is just a great feeling for myself because I'm seeing him put the reps in. And I'm just like, man, I know it's gonna come. And I'm telling him every day, like, you're gonna make shots, just trust it. And look today. So
We'll go back to Theo and then to Paul.
Yeah, totally. DJ had 10, 8, and 7 tonight, plus that big dunk. What do you think of that dunk and his game tonight?
Nah, DJ was open. I ain't gonna lie. He almost had a triple-double. That's crazy. But we need him every night. He does a lot for us, man. He from scoring or rebounding to moving the ball. It's a lot of positions he could play. So I'm just glad to have him on the team.
Tolu, obviously you guys will face some major road tests in the SEC, and that's just right around the corner. How much can games like this to be tested, because they had a pretty good crowd and they got in a rhythm there in the second half, cut the lead to 9, I think. But how much does that help you guys down the road?
I say it helps us like immensely, just because of the fact that we come in here and it's like it's only us. There's nobody else with us. I mean, we had a little crowd, but it's basically us in that locker room. So it's just those things like that when they go on runs and just like huddles and making us get closer and coming together. So seeing those like make their runs and then still be able to stop the essentially like cut off the water and make sure that they don't get going, keep going on runs. It's just a great feeling to show that we can stay together.
We'll go back to John Sokoloff. We have time for a couple more.
Hey, Shaq, this one's for you. Well, I mean, you've seen what this team's been through this year already. What's this team's ceiling, you think?
Repeat that one more time.
Yeah. What's this team's ceiling?
Man, too high. It's a tough one. Because to be honest, we're not playing our best basketball offensively. We still got guys, still working towards their game, but defensively, we still got a long ways to go. We got more to give. But it's really high. It's a hard question for me. I ain't gonna lie. High, really high.
I guess just kind of sum up your thoughts about your team's first road win, and obviously there were some up and downs with some different runs here and there, but your thought overall.
Yeah, obviously the basketball is a game of runs. It's going to happen in most games that you play in, especially on the road. But we stretched it out there right before halftime, so that felt good, I think, for everybody walking into the halftime locker room, and then came out and had a couple different stretches there where we got it to 16, and unfortunately they cut it to 10, then we got it to 18, and they cut it to 11 pretty quickly. So we had a little bit of adversity that way, but the guys were really good in the huddle. They stuck together. They responded to, the runs by the home team, and didn't have a lot of stress going down the stretch.
Joel, go ahead.
Coach, I know Shaq's been doing a lot of good things, even when he hadn't been scoring a lot lately for you guys to win. But how good was it to see him come out and score a great deal tonight and, kind of reap the fruits of his labor for his hard work the last week or two?
Really happy for Shaq. I get staff members telling me all the time, how much unrequired work he's been putting in on his own, and but he sees him in the gym getting up extra shots, and even when he wasn't shooting very well. And that's real easy to have an attitude of, well, that ain't helping, so why should I continue to work? And from the sounds of it, that's not been his approach, which is obviously great to see. And then more importantly, happy for our team, but individually, for him to be rewarded with that. And it should buoy his confidence, going forward. And certainly we need some outside shooting. But it wasn't just that. I mean, he had a couple of silly turnovers, one early trying to throw the ball in the post, but he was pretty active. He had a couple Shaq steals, sort of his athleticism turning into, D to O. And those are game changers. They change the mood, and he's really good at that.
Theo, go ahead.
First true road game tonight. How did you feel like your team handled this environment at Minnesota?
I thought they handled it great. We just kept talking about all, from when we left till we arrived, and the meetings and the shoot arounds and in the huddles, just sticking together and talking to one another. And, we have to get this done on our own. There's not many people in this building that are on our side, and that's just the way it's going to be when you go on the road. But I liked it. From start to finish for the most part, even how we traveled, our meetings, our shoot arounds, the focus was really good. And then they were ready to play, one game in 13 days, through with finals. I hadn't played in 8 days, and, coaches love that time, but I don't think players particularly do, but they handled it really well. I thought we got better, and, we were able to get our first true road win of the season.
Jack, go ahead.
Coach, it was a real back and forth first half, but at the end of that first half, you go on a 10-0 run. Shaq kind of makes some plays. Tolu hits some free throws. I guess, how big was that to kind of get you some momentum going into the second half?
Yeah, I thought it was huge. I think we were up early, and then they closed it, and it was kind of like you said, back and forth. And we had that run to end the half, and I think that helped our confidence, helped the vibe in the locker room. Tolu was obviously great from the free throw line, and again, another young man that spends countless hours in the gym working on his craft, and specifically free throws. He's been struggling obviously all year long with it. We felt like, he would get back to his form. He's not historically that bad of a free throw shooter, and he takes so many of them. So our team shooting percentage is low because of it. And the game's a lot easier, when guys are getting fouled the most, can step up and make free throws. And obviously he should have a ton of confidence going forward.
We'll go back to Paul. We got time for a couple more.
Coach, we asked Tolu about his free throw shooting, and he gave credit to Coach Miller. Did you get fired? Is his free throw?
I told you, I fired myself. I tried to go inward and remember when I was a free throw shooter and I wasn't that good a free throw shooter, but I always fashioned myself as a good free throw shooting coach. I've helped many young men with their trials and tribulations from the line, and it obviously didn't work with Tolu. And so Coach Miller fortunately came to my rescue, and I'm glad that Tolu recognized that.
Appreciate it.
Theo, go ahead and wrap us up.
You had Deshaun back tonight. How did he feel today, and what did you think of the game that he played?
I haven't talked to him, but he still wasn't 100%. He was hobbling around a little bit. The adrenaline certainly helped come game day, and he was rusty. He showed his strength and his athleticism, his determination, but he couldn't finish it around the basket. But, it was nice to see him make those moves and get in the heart of the defense, and had the nice three there late that should help him. But it was great to have him back. I mean, he's a big part of who we are and hopefully who we will become, and his toughness and his competitive instincts and his desire to do well and to win, we see every day. And, he had 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 turnover, really defended. So it's a big shot in the arm for us going forward.